Will Redwire Space stock make you rich in 2025? Let's talk. So we're here to talk Redwire Space. And guys, you did see me roll out a few videos about Redwire. And I'm going to be dead honest with you. I'm not going to claim to be an expert around the stock. I am literally doing my due diligence. And I'm trying to learn it as I go along. I did start building my position at the all-time high. So I was fully aware that there was a high possibility of it pulling back. However, I started falling in love with this stock when we seen some recent news that I'll talk about in the video. But guys, feel free to correct me as I go along in this video. Because, look, I am just at the early phase of starting out my position. Now, today, we're going to talk about, is it going to make you rich in 2025? And this is not financial advice, it's just my opinion. Then I'm going to say what kind of updates have came out, where I can see the price going, and how much am I adding in my position. So, if you want to grow this Redwire community with me, make sure to smash that subscribe button. And to help with the algorithm, we need it more than ever, smash that like button to share us to more people. Right guys, let's get into it. So for anyone that doesn't know, Redwire is a space infrastructure company. It builds everything space system. And this is why it sort of pulled me in with my love for Rocket Lab. Everyone loves to see these launches, and when it comes to Rocket Lab, everyone's gassing up for the Neutron. But I was more excited to see the likes of Flatellite come out, and we dropped a video on that, so if you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. Space systems, I feel, in the next few years is just going to grow exponentially. You've seen how big Starlink came. But it's not just about communications and Starlink. The space systems industry is absolutely massive. And I think this is just one sector I just have to get in. And I feel like now is the time to diversify by just not holding Rocket Lab. Even though, guys, I am completely bullish on Rocket Lab. I started my position around 426. Now my average has raised to about $6, but I just have been buying continuously during these pullbacks. But guys, what made me even more bullish about Redwire Space was their recent acquisition of Edge Autonomy. Now, originally when I first seen it, I thought, why are they diversifying into a completely different sector? It felt like they were pivoting into defense, a little bit like what Archer done with Androl. But then the more I looked into it, I just think the opportunity is massive. Edge Autonomy is a 950 million market cap company, and they build defensive craft and UAVs. So they're more of an aerospace company in comparison to Redwire Space Company. But when you heard Peter, the CEO, speaking, he said it was always Redwire's goal to not only dominate the space sector, but he was also looking at land and air. And this is where the air comes into it. Now, why I think Redwire potentially could make you rich in 2025, and this is not financial advice, it's how I am looking at it. I am bullish on Redwire in the long term. However, I am starting to think, will I double down on our Road to Glory challenge? Because I could see us 2 or 3xing in the near term. And let me tell you exactly why. So I first bought into my position in Redwire at the all-time high. Well, it was around the all-time high. I got in around $25 when I started building that out. I was fully aware it could pull back, and I added again as around 1940. And then it just feels like over the last month, I think we're pulled back 40%. And we have had a good day today, but it's nothing in comparison to where it's gone. So I added a little bit more at 12.30. And I'll tell you the exact reasons why. And this is exactly why I think it potentially could make you rich. Now, Redwire today is sitting at a market cap of 939 million, and that's at a stock price of 14.12. Guys, Redwire are after acquiring Edge Autonomy, who is valued at 950 million. Make it make sense. Guys, I'm not saying I am any sort of financial guru. I could be completely wrong in this, and when the acquisition fully takes place, it could completely collapse. However, I do think one of the risks behind this is a bit like Archer Defense. Are they biting off more than they can chew? Is there going to be significant capital raises in order to keep the two businesses afloat? And that is one of the risks behind it. However, we've seen in recent missions with Redwire, they're pumping out footage from their cameras. They're on the likes of their moon landers, which Rocket Lab have also built components for. I just feel like now is the time I am just going to keep doubling down on Redwire. If it drops any lower, I'm going to add again. And I'm just going to keep adding. I feel like anything below $20, I feel is my buy zone. Now, am I going to go as heavy as I have in the likes of Rocket Lab or Archer Aviation? No, I don't think so. I have made it fully clear my strategy. I go after speculative growth companies that I fully believe in. And I wouldn't put extreme amounts of capital unless I had absolute belief that this is going to succeed. I am in quite the early stage of investigating into Redwire. And that's why I'm adding slowly to my position. It is a nice amount, however, it's nowhere near as big as I am in the likes of Rocket Lab. I've let you know that my strategy entails being highly concentrated in very few stocks I believe in. That is extremely risky, and I wouldn't suggest that anyone follows this. However, for my financial goals, that is exactly what I'm doing. And I am here every day researching every single stock that I'm invested in. But that's no guarantee. Yes, we've foreseen a pullback, which we predicted back in eVTOL Weekly episode 6. However, I don't think any of us could have foreseen that the pullback was going to be this dramatic. Now, do I think this pullback is going to maintain? Over the next week or two, I could see us slightly easing off. We've seen today that Trump has pushed back his automotive tariffs for both Canada and Mexico for another month. But is it just kicking the can down the road? At this time, it's just keep loading into the companies you believe in, and I believe we will come out of this strongly. Will we hit a recession? None of us really know. But if you have really strong thoughts on it, and you think we're leaving the bull market, please let me know below. I'm still really bullish for the likes of Rocket Lab towards the end of this year with their Neutron launch. I feel like we could 2 or 3x in that amount of time. I'm then really bullish on the likes of Joby with getting their certification over the line. And the likes of Joby and Archer by Q1 26 being in the United Arab Emirates. So I have my catalysts in place. It's just about building my position and working hard in order to get the capital in order to keep pumping it in. But guys, let me know the biggest parts of your portfolio. Let me know your strategies and where you feel diversification sits in your portfolio style. And guys, if you want to hear more Redwire content, make sure to check out this video next.